Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for August 29th. We're looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair overall is moving sideways, biased is sideways. Currently we have the last session closing higher. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 79.03, possibly as low as 78.19. Look for some resistance around 78.83 and look for some support around 78.43. Now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this pair is moving sideways, closed down for the session, but overall long-term moving higher. Look for it to potentially go as high as 126.21, possibly as low as 124.57. Look for some resistance around 125.75 and look for some support around 124.75. Now the pound-US dollar pair, it's moving sideways, closed higher for this past session, overall moving to the upside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 159.02, possibly as low as 157.46. Look for some resistance around 158.75 and look for some support around 157.65. Now the US Swiss, this pair is also moving sideways, closed higher during this last session, create an inside bar. Look for it to potentially go as high as 0.9638, possibly as low as 0.9514. Look for some resistance to the upside around 0.9615 and look for some support around 0.9545. Now, as far as news announcements go, we do have a couple news announcements for tomorrow. On Thursday, the German unemployment change for August is going to be released at 3:55 a.m. Eastern. Of course, that will affect the euro. Consensus on that one is that it's held at the previous rate of 7K. Then at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we have the U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditure Core being released year to date for the July, the month of July. Currently, they're showing a decrease from 1.8% down to 1.7%. Shouldn't affect the market all too much unless it comes out significantly higher than that or lower than that as far as that goes. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? Well, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row of sideways action. We can have a whole lot more, but nonetheless, we have an inside bar that was created. If we drop down to the lower time frame, there's a large or a pretty significant trend line developing long term. Let's see if we can take a look at it. If you draw a trend line from this high across the past two sessions high, you get a nice trend line that has developed. For that, you get a back out a little bit of ways. You can get a trend line to the downside as well. You can see where it hit already during this session has hit that line. If we get a breakout in either direction, now remember the long term is still to the upside, so I'd prefer to see this thing move higher. I'm looking for it to move higher. We do have somewhat of a trend line over the past little bit. Let me draw that on there. You can actually take a look at it. You can see currently we have 1, 2, 3, and then past 4 bars there that have hit that trend line but have not broken it. I think if we get a break to the upside and close above it, at that point we're going to look to move higher. Currently, a break above it would be around the 125.36 mark, going up about 30 pips, 33 pips up to 125.69. I think is very possible using a stop loss right underneath the long-term trend line there. You're looking at a risk of about 13 pips. I'd probably go ahead and bring it up under this low at about 14 to 15. You could even bring it here if you wanted at 19. You're still going to get a great risk to reward trade, at least 2 to 1, if not higher, as it moves to the upside. Well, hope that helps, and until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.